while, because I don't think we had talked up until the XLR thing. So I had purchased the GoXLR for my setup, and then I had returned it because it wasn't going to work for what I wanted. And then in that tweet, I had a bunch of people respond to me like, dude, you don't know what you're doing. Everybody's tagging Ernest like, hey, talk to this guy Ernest. I'm sure he can help you get it working. And then I was like, oh, fuck, it's the Ernest. Not even his real name, Ernest. I know this guy. And so we got to talking on Twitter a little bit, and then we got such in-depth discussion that we started DMing and sending videos back and forth. And then through a bunch of conversation later, here we are. But I kind of, I know your perspective on the GoXLR. I want to know if anything in your opinion has changed since we talked. I know you have a dual PC setup and you have got it working. It sounds fantastic, and I know you get it to work for what it is. I know a lot of people in chat that are thinking about getting the GoXLR both in single and dual PC setups, and I want you to kind of, you don't have to go into extreme detail, but to answer the question, do you think people should buy a GoXLR for both a single or a dual PC setup? So just kind of like to hear kind of your thoughts as of now. Are there things that you're looking forward to getting software wise? And just fire away.
Yeah, so I did a video on it, kind of my initial thoughts, and I did this video kind of letting myself explore the GoXLR for like 2 or 3 weeks before I came up with my opinion on it. Because the very first thing that I wanted to do is I reached out to Helicon, and I was like, hey, I met them actually at TwitchCon in Long Beach. I think it was Long Beach. Asked them about it, and we were talking about this thing. I talked to their product manager. I talked to their engineer. It was like I had set up, for record, I've set up 200 or 300 different dual PC stream setups on Twitch now, somewhere around there, including Tifu's that we talked about. So I'm Tifu's audio guy, quote unquote, and Symphonies and some of the other people, and Cody's, of course. But yeah, so there's a lot of people that used my old setup, and as you know, one of the things with that old setup is that it had about 14 or 15 different cables, and I'm a little bit OCD. I hate having cables everywhere, and so cable management for me was something that I really cared about. But there was an issue. Anytime I changed out a peripheral or something like that, I'd have to go back through all of that shit and redo it all, spending hours on zip tying shit for days and days and days. And so I reached out to Helicon. I was like, hey, can you guys send me one for like 2 or 3 weeks? Just so I can set it up and see what it's like, and I'll send you the $400 if I like it. You know what I mean? Like, no problem. At the time, they're like, no, we're all out. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll pre-order it. So I pre-ordered it last December, I think, and it came in February or March. Threw it all together, and I struggled with some stuff. I was like, man, what the hell is this? Why is it doing this? What is this? So nonetheless, I got it all set up, and I was like, do I like it? It didn't necessarily have the things that I was looking for out of box, because it's without a doubt the GoXLR is designed for one PC. Like, the way it's set up, it's not really designed to be used with dual PC. They do have some commentary on like how to set it up with dual PC, but in reality, I didn't find that was the best. Primarily, the issue that I had with it is that whatever you heard in your head is exactly what the stream would hear. And if you're a streamer that like wants to turn down music while you're playing games, but you want to leave music on for the stream at a different level, it didn't feel like it was going to work. Well, then I actually got to talking with the guys at Helicon, and one of the guys was like, oh, why don't you try this? And I was like, shit, I didn't even think of that. Like, why wouldn't I do this? Because originally they tell you to hook everything up to the game PC, and originally I was like, well, no, I'm gonna hook it up to the stream PC because I want this freedom, and I can run it this way and that way and this way. And one of the guys suggested something. Now, he said he wasn't sure if it was still gonna work, but he and I started talking about like the structure of how the GoXLR is and how everything is programmed within the device. And once we kind of got to talking about like how everything's programmed within the device, I was like, oh fuck, I can do this.
The brain starts going.
Yeah. I start like, connecting the dots. Like, okay, if I run it this way, then I can do that, and this will give me the same functionality I used to have with my mixer, and I'm gonna do this and this. So now I've messed around with this GoXLR probably more times than most people ever have. And I've got it down in such a way that it has all of the functionality of my old setup for about $200 cheaper than what my old setup was, and about 12 cables less than my old setup. And that's ignoring the fact that it's also got like RGB and some of the other stuff that I didn't ask for. I don't need it. I don't truly care about it, but it does look cool.
Well, look at your room. It's beautiful.
I know. My room is all RGB'd out, but like if I have like a functional piece of equipment, I care about the functionality more than the RGB, right? So, but no, I love the thing now, and I'd say for 6+ months now, anytime somebody comes to me and's like, what should I do for setup? Whether you're single PC or dual PC, I think you should get a GoXLR. I've heard some rumors that there might be some different versions of some coming soon.
Okay.
So I don't know any sorts of timing. I haven't seen anything like this. There was one tweet about asking for a beta sign up to be a tester for some things. So that was from the Helicon Gaming product manager guy. So I don't know what's coming, when it's coming, what is it doing, but if they have other products that are out there, there might be some more products that are going to be even more catered to somebody that might be just single PC. I do think that the GoXLR has some overhead stuff. Like I don't know that most people are going to have the need to do voice changers. For most streamers, I don't think that voice changing is a needed thing. The sampler to me is a bit overkill. It is fun to play with, and certainly like, a sampler day is fun to mess around, but like, do you need it all the time? The answer for me, I think the best part is basically it's got a microphone interface, which is huge. It's got onboard compression and noise gate, which is huge because there's issues with the way that OBS does their software versions of it. And they are hardware versions of compression and noise gate. So even though it's controlled by software, they're all hardware versions. It's got a hard limiter, so no matter how much you scream, you're not going to peak if you set it up right. It's got a pretty easy UI when it comes down to setting your mic gain, which I think is probably one of the biggest challenges with microphone setup.
Oh yeah,
is that most people have their gain too high. Most people have their microphone in the wrong spot, but they kind of give you like a general sense on how to deal with it. The mute button for me is not something that I would ever use. They have a hard mute and they have the bleep button. So yeah, just I think I would recommend it over everything right now. The downside is it is $400. That's a pretty good ticket. Throw on $100 microphone on top of it, throw on $100 to $200 headset on top of that.
Yep.
All of a sudden you have a $700 setup just for audio. So yeah, it's not cheap, but I think it is worth it. Because if you're going to buy all that stuff separately, whether it's just the mixer, the voice changer, inline compression and all this other stuff, you're going to be spending $700-800 just on the hardware, not the headphones and the mic. So I definitely love it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad that you still love it, and kind of I wish that they're in their future products. I hope that there is a way that you can, because like the main issue that I had was just IO in general. It was just like there just wasn't enough input output for what I wanted, and like I use the voice changers. I have other devices that tie into my mixer. Like I have a lot of other incoming sounds. If they made it to where I could input a mixer into the GoXLR and then I could still control the levels of all of those devices before they get to it, I think it could be a device that would work for me. But I'm so,
you can do that now.
See, I tried and could have been doing it wrong, but no matter what I did, the way that I wanted it to be set up, and you saw from our DMs kind of how particular I wanted. Whenever I tried taking a mixer and outputting it into the GoXLR, it just did not like it. And I have a really bad problem with power conditioning in my house right now, and that's kind of an issue that I've never been able to get away from. And I've seen kind of their roadmap and rumors of what they want to do with. Did they already make it so you can control your headphone volume independently, or has that not come out yet?
That one is in. So they have a headphone volume slider now, in the app, but the mix volume is not the same. So
okay,
they do have a version of it to where you can turn your headphones down while leaving the output, the output to the stream to be louder, but it still turns down the whole mix in your headphone, not individual mix in your headphone. So they do have some beta versions of some other stuff that is in a beta software. They were testing beta stuff out pretty much constantly, and I've just kind of waited for it to come out to be the regular one because they use the standard Audio drivers that Windows uses, and if Windows hates the driver build or there's a little bit of a bug in the driver or something, it'll dump your whole PC. You'll blue screen, or you'll get a situation where games won't load drivers properly. So I didn't want to deal with that, even if it wasn't going to happen, because it's in beta, it's likely to happen. So honestly, I would check it out, but I have it set right now to where I want it. So I'll wait for the beta and see what else comes of it.
Okay. In closing, is there any one thing that you would think would become a game changer for you, like something that would make you love it even more? Is there a feature that you see yourself yearning for, or is it everything you need it to be and you don't find yourself craving anything extra?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I guess my one big, my only really big gripe about the instrument is that it kind of missed a little bit of logic. Like, I feel like they talked to streamers when they designed it, but I don't think they talked to streamers that really knew how to communicate what they need. Because there is 6 different cables that can come in and out of the GoXLR, right? And it still boggles my mind that they didn't just make it a USB in and a USB out. Like, why didn't they just use 2 USB cables? They could have literally solved everything with 2 USB cables. I talked to the product manager guy about it, and I was like, why didn't you guys do that? And like, well, we wanted to account for this. And I'm like, pretty sure USB still could have accounted for all of that. So it's one of those things that maybe it's a wish list thing, from a usability, making everything easier. But at the end of the day, the only thing that I wish they had, and supposedly it's coming, is basically separate mix button. So full-blown separate mix. Right now it's got one mix, and that mix can be turned up or down for both the stream or your headphones. Now, what I've had to do is I've put in a USB inline switcher, and I've split the audio signals so that I can control them separately from the stream. But, I did that because of the conversations that I had about how it works.
Right.
Not exactly necessarily the way that they wanted it to be designed. I've added about 2 or 3 more cables in order for me to have that capability, just like I had with my old mixer. If they could have that as a part of the device itself and within the app, then I think they solve every problem.
Do you have any guides or anything regarding your dual PC setup?
Yeah, I have. I did a dual PC routing with the GoXLR.
Okay. About
how I have it currently set up. I did that on my YouTube. It's a short video, but I kind of explain what happens, how I manage it. It's not so bad. I keep my stream PC off for the most part.
Okay.
And then when I'm ready to stream, I turn it on and set the GoXLR up for that type of thing.
Okay. Roger that. All right, dude.